I will do an highlight on Twitch and YouTube to about this subject. But basically, I don't know if you agree with this take about speedrunning. Basically, I think every games are speedrunnable, but it doesn't mean it's a good idea. But every games are speedrunnable. Like if you want to have some example of bad ideas in speedrunning, but it works, take a game like a rhythm game like Guitar Hero, especially the one without the boss fights. Basically, the only way to gain some time in in those games are just faster menuing. You can go faster than the musics, but there are still leaderboard about those games and world records. So I guess it works. Also, they are like only based, only RNG-based game. I'm not talking about Wise Waldorf, for instance. There's a huge part of RNG on this game, but there's not only RNG. There's also a bit of skill, and you have to remember a lot of things. And obviously, the RNG is huge, but that's not only that. If you take, for example, an adaptation of Deal or Not Deal, which is totally RNG, uh, this doesn't sound like a good idea of concerning a speedrun, but also there's leaderboard about that. So it's speedrunnable, I guess. So why am I talking about that? I believe every game is speedrunnable, but yesterday I was searching for some games which were never speedrun on my Steam wishlist. So I will have some potential ideas for future speedruns. And I found a game which is pretty interesting about my personal take, and I want to discuss about it with you. I'm gonna show you this trailer. Little trigger warning, there are some spiders, not necessarily realistic spiders, but it's a bit creepy, but not too creepy. There are not jump scares and things like that. It's just the atmosphere, but it's not too bad. Don't worry. I'm gonna show you the trailer and then I will talk about that after. So when I first saw this game, I thought it was pretty interesting and I added it in my Steam wishlist. This game is called Doler, I guess, and it's a game from a studio named Sock Pop Collective. It's very interesting. They are doing like a game every 2 or 3 weeks. They are really releasing a game very games very often, but there are multiple people in this collective, and it's pretty cool. Their games are pretty cheap and pretty short, but there are some cool ideas. Like this one is a survival slash horror game in a maze, and it looked pretty cool with a bit of fighting as well. But I looked a little bit more in the description and I realized something. This thing, every day, every 24 hours, uh, the maze you will have to travel will reset and be randomly generated. And every player will play on the same. On casual playthrough, that's a very good thing because it adds some really good replay value. Uh, Also, there is a mechanic which is pretty cool. Basically, you can put some poops on your way to so the other player will saw them, and you can leave a message to other players playing on the same map, like on this GIF, danger ahead, or this way or not this way. So this is pretty cool as well. There's a co-op mechanic with other players around the world. So on casual, this seems a pretty good idea. But I thought about the speedrun potential, and you will say if you have the same opinion about that. I think this game cannot be speedrun in a leaderboard like SRC because basically every day you won't have the same seed. It's not random seed every time you start a game. It's every 24 hours. And I thought about a scenario which could be awful, great and awful at the same time. Imagine someday you have uh, a seed which is basically perfect RNG. Um, and you can really optimize imagine it's on SOC, you can really optimize your time and got an insane world record, but just for 24 hours, and then it reset and you can't get a world record anymore unless you have a better seed or basically the same seed basically. That sucks because it may be not speedrunnable, at least on for leaderboard format. So maybe my take wasn't the good one actually. The only way I can see this game being speedrunned is like on a very specific event, like a 24-hour or few hours event where everybody are playing the same seeds and everybody are trying to figure out what is the most optimal way to do it. It will be like some form of tournament, but just for a few hours or at most 24 hours. Daily RNG, exactly. So I was wrong, maybe. Maybe not all games are speedrunnable and you can't seek world record for every games. You can seek a best time for a specific seed on a specific day, but it wouldn't count as world record in my opinion. Yeah, this is a problem. Like if you have an amazing seeds during 24 hours, we'll have to speedrun this game during this day and then it's gone. Yeah, but the thing is, on a random seed speedrun, it's every time you reset the game. It's not the same thing. You will never have the same game again. Uh, when it resets every 24 hours, you have time to optimize the seed and have a potential insane world record which would be never replicated later. The only way I would see this game being speedrunnable is if there is a way to get a set seed. I don't think it's the case in the random uh, I mean, in the current state of the game. At least it looks good on a casual point of view, and you can play this game every day and have a new experience, so that's great. Doesn't it say the same thing can never appear twice? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I never played the game, so I can't tell you. And I will have to play the game a lot to notice if there is some recurrent patterns. So I don't know. Yeah, you have to just get like some a little amount of seeds if you want to speedrun it, I think. If there is like a million or billions of seeds, like every other, almost every other randomly generated games, like Minecraft or The Binding of Isaac, that's not the same. 365 seeds. Imagine you run this game for an entire year and you realize which days have this better seed and you only speedrunning the game on this specific day. That would be weird also. That wouldn't be a great thing. It's a pretty recent game actually, I think. No, actually it's not a like last year. You can think what you want. I don't think this game will be speedrunnable. And this sucks because I said that every games are speedrunnable and maybe not. Because this game has a very specific mechanics which is very cool and very unique. But for speedrunning, but I mean, they didn't made this game especially for speedrunner. So I don't think we should complain. That's it. It could be a good speed game, but in my opinion, not like a speed game on SRC. As I said, it would be like on tournament form for a few hours or 24 hours. That's my opinion about this. A league would probably be the most fun approach to this game. Maybe. I mean, if someone is interested, I don't know, but that's not a bad idea actually. Where over a week, each runner tries to get the best time on the seed. Yeah, maybe. That can be an idea. But since it's a very special case of a game for speedrun, I'm keeping it in the side of my brain, because it can be interesting.